Okay, yeah. So I think coaching styles is a big mistake, and we see that, right? So I grew up in like when I was in college. John Smith was my coach. He was the most famous wrestler on planet Earth, ranked as the number one wrestler on planet Earth like 4 or 5 years in a row, and he had a really unique style. And he himself tried to like push the Oklahoma State athletes to wrestle like him, and my dad says. Or said to us, he's like, I think Oklahoma State ruined you guys, and mostly to my brother. My brother was an NCAA champion and was 10th in the world, so he did pretty good, And I was an All-American and left college wrestling after I graduated and went to grad school and just took a different route. But and my brother went down to my weight class and made Team USA. So anyway, but I think John Smith helped me. But he did hurt some guys on the team. He'll even admit it right now. He's mentioned this a few times, and so has coaches who in the sport of wrestling, Tom and Terry Brands were coming up right along the same time as me and my brother was, right? And Terry has beaten my brother a few times, and they had a really physical, mean, hard style, like physically the strongest human beings on planet Earth for their size probably. So you had this bully style of wrestling, which is just specific to a human being who's 5'5", who weighs 160, who cuts down to 125, right? Just physically short, powerful, legs like tree trunks. And then you had John Smith, who's super skinny and flexible, and so a style that works for one guy. If Tom Brands, who was an Olympic champion also, wrestled like John Smith, and someone tried to make John Smith wrestle like Tom Brands, neither one of them would have made the team. They probably couldn't have made a JV high school team, but he wrestled his way, and they were both Olympic champions. You don't get any better than that. So any coach who tries to teach a style is making a great big mistake. And sometimes we see that in college coaches too. Not as much anymore. It's 2024. Coaches are getting very smart, at least in wrestling. Like, they're not overtraining guys anymore. I know a lot of the Penn State, Iowa, and Oklahoma State, they were heart monitors 24/7. There's a computer on the, I saw it at Oklahoma State. My nephew just signed there. He's going to Oklahoma State also, like my brother and I. There's a computer on the wall. They're monitoring their heart rates. And, they say, okay, he's going to take a day off or 2 days off, and he needs to do this. And, so the level of training is getting so smart and scientific. They have sports performance coaches, which used to be called sports psychs, right? Peak performance, human performance coaches coaching these guys. They have nutritionists. They we didn't know what macros were, right? We just ate stuff, So things are so much better nowadays that, so you don't really see coaches coaching a style nowadays, like for the team. Now I might grab a short, powerful guy and say, hey, here's a couple short, powerful guys who've had a lot of success, right? Like, Kerry Colott, Terry Brands, Tom Brands. How about Brandon Slade? He's an Olympic champion. Can you learn anything from these guys? They're built just like you. Or you're built just like them. So yes, but we can't just say, we're going to wrestle this way in my wrestling room. At the high school level, we still have a lot of that, right? There's still coaches, even close to here, wrestling bully style. And I'm like, I don't think you can do that, right? Now, you can have a style which is more of a philosophy of life, right? So that's not a bad thing. University of Missouri, they have Tiger style, which is basically they never take the stairs when they're at a hotel or at their arena. It's all based on one more, and Joe C. at Oklahoma State was this way. He's like, if you sit in the first 3 rows of class, your life will get better. And when your life gets, and you shake that teacher's hand and you tell him or her thank you after class, and when they walk in, if you cross them, you say thank you. And if your locker is messy, you will not be a national champion. And if your car is messy, you will not be an All-American. You'll never make an Olympic team. If you show up late consistently, you're not going to make it. So, that's a style but it's not like a physical or technical approach to how to participate and compete in the sport of wrestling, jiu-jitsu, or anything else. So, I do think I wanted to at least explain my idea on that. But, the latter just is not going to work. It's silly. Don't do it.